Hi, I'd like to thank Gil for inviting me to participate and Paige for all her help in getting ready. Thank you, Paige. My grandfather and father worked their whole careers at Singer Sewing Machines factory in Elizabeth, New Jersey. That was the largest building in the world at the time when everybody had a sewing machine and the U.S. dominated world manufacturing. I worked there summers in high school and college. The Singer factory is long gone, along with many others that were once the envy of the world. My family's manufacturing tradition was a major reason that I founded the Reshoring Initiative, which is supported by the Association for Manufacturing Excellence and the Association for Manufacturing Technology, the leaders of both of which organizations are with us today. Thank you for joining us. While most of you work in the political trenches, the initiative works in the industrial trenches. We do that to change the sourcing mindset from offshore is cheaper to local reduces the total cost of ownership, to train the OEMs why they should source local, and to train the vendors how to sell local sourcing, to do the best that the U.S. industry can do on an unlevel playing field now, while most of you work to level that playing field. The initiative provides several assets to make this happen. First, there's a free total cost of ownership software for OEMs and vendors to use to accurately calculate the total cost of ownership. There's an online library of 49, soon to become 75 articles that show successful cases of reshoring. I hope to add some of the cases here. The idea there is that the OEMs can go to that library and see how their competitors have profited from reshoring and hopefully emulate that practice. There are linked NTMA and PMA purchasing fairs to which the OEMs can go to find competitive U.S. sources to help them with that reshoring. And there's extensive media coverage to help reach the OEMs, to help convince them to take that action. The logical foundation, or there are two logical foundations for the initiative. First, 60% of manufacturers apply only rudimentary total cost models. They ignore 20% of the total cost when they offshore. And the missed costs go to overhead, like travel, to the balance sheet, and to opportunity costs when they can't deliver because the pipeline's too long. As a result, these OEMs offshore more than is even in their own short-term self-interest. In other words, they've gone beyond the point that makes sense even for them because they haven't calculated the actual costs. And the second point, 51% of the companies find no financial benefit in offshoring. So given the fact that to some extent they don't know what they're doing, and second, that even to the extent that they know what they're doing, they think they may have made a mistake, there's an opportunity to convince them to change their behavior. We don't claim to be able to bring all of the work back. We claim to bring some of it back. So we provide this software that allows the OEMs to quantify 18 cost factors. You see them listed. They're the ones you read in the articles all the time about the disadvantages of offshoring, and include a forecast of wage inflation and currency appreciation that the OEM can make. So here's a typical example. The supply chain manager is faced with an FOB price of $75 from China for a part and $100 from the US. And the logical reaction for that supply chain manager is buy the Chinese part. But when the manager uses the software and concludes that his real total cost is $89, and that within a year or two, assuming a 10% annual wage inflation in China and a 5%, hopefully, currency appreciation for the yuan, that their actual cost will be equal using the total cost of ownership valuation, hopefully they'll make a different decision. They'll decide that it makes sense either not to offshore or that it's time to start reshoring. The first NTMA PMA purchasing fair that was focused on reshoring was held May 12th in Irvine, California. We had 57 customers, big companies, Boeing, Northrop Grumman, et cetera. 64% of them brought work that was currently offshored for the U.S. shops to quote on. The next fair is October 29th in Mashantucket, Connecticut. And for the customer companies that are present here and that do offshore, or any that you can influence to do so, I encourage you to get them to attend and reshore. One of my best days in the last year, I received an email from a Tennessee OEM, a small company, who offshores 70% of the components that go into the product that they make. He had just read the article that I'd written in the June issue of Manufacturing Engineering magazine, and he emailed to tell me that he had committed to reshoring the work and to, in fact, make some of it in-house himself. He described the article as a kick in the seat of the pants that got him going on reshoring. Well, with some government help, we could kick 10,000 seats. To let you see where we stand now with the government, Congressman Wolf's Job Repatriation Act, H.R. 5980, calls for total cost of ownership software. I was honored to have them include that. Discussions are going on with Deputy Assistant Secretary Peter Perez, with the Manufacturing Extension Partnerships, which have been mentioned here earlier, and with the EDA. I'm working with the AME and with another group to set up a local reshoring test in Flint and or Ohio, to bring local OEMs, local shops together to try and train both of them and educate both of them and bring them together in consortia to make that happen, to make reshoring happen. Several groups in Chicago have come to me wanting to have the next purchasing fair there and guaranteeing to bring out large numbers of OEMs to work on the reshoring problem. That's a good start, but we want more. We obviously want progress on the above. We'd love to see President Obama and the labor unions, and many are present here, ask their companies to reevaluate their offshoring decisions, to try the estimator, which is available free on our website, to attend the fair. We'd like to see the administration do what's been mentioned here several times, which is put more emphasis on reshoring and to work on the net trade deficit rather than just on exporting. It's intuitively obvious that American companies, especially the small to medium-sized contract manufacturers that don't have a branded product, it's obvious that it's easier for them to compete here than it is offshore, where they have to be concerned with another legal system, languages, sales forces, et cetera, et cetera. So let's take advantage of the work that we can get here. And then we need more media coverage. So I ask the media that are present to work with us. The initiative will affect policy. We're about to survey the supply chain managers and ask them what cost factors they are now considering so we know how much they're missing, how much we can help them with. We're going to ask them, what is the price elasticity of the offshoring, onshoring decision, so we know what a given effect of the yuan or of wage inflation or other factors or tariffs, what that effect would actually be in terms of billions of dollars and hundreds of thousands of jobs that can be brought back to the United States. The initiative will become the national source of actionable information on the size, motivation, decision processes, and industry mix of U.S. offshoring and reshoring. Another way of looking at it is that we will help quantify and justify the impacts of the other proposals we've heard about currency, tariffs, and other considerations. So I'm a little bit like the poor Dutch boy with his finger in the dike holding back the offshoring flood, and we ask for your support. Thank you.